Hello, hello, beautiful souls. Stacie Overman here. I am your angelic spiritual guide. Angelic spiritual guide, yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited today. I am helping beautiful souls just like you transformationally change their lives so they can begin experiencing miracles here on earth, empowering the next wave of light workers to be able to be the next spiritual leaders. Today I have an amazing guest that I am bringing on. Her name is Julie, and she is enrolled in my New You program. I want to introduce you to her. Let me just tap on the screen and add Julie. She is a beautiful soul in my New You program. Hello, Julie. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you. So excited to be here.
Oh, me too. And technology worked super awesome. I'm so excited.
It only took us a couple tries.
That's right. Oh my gosh, your beautiful face is so great to see here today. I am just so proud, so proud. Julie has enrolled in my program and she just completed week 4. So she's right at that halfway point, and she has experienced so much already that I asked her if she'd be willing to share. So Julie, tell us a little about what life was like before you enrolled, before our discovery call. Tell us a little what you were going through.
Well, oddly enough, my world was falling apart. And there is no better way to say it. It was absolutely scary. I had lost my husband and partner. Um, and so I was experiencing very profound grief. And then shortly after, I had a near-death experience that kind of changed me. It was so deeply moving experience, but I didn't know what to do with it all. So I was running through tons of emotions. I was scared and I had fear, and I just didn't know what my next steps in life were going to be like. And I was just searching. I felt like I knew that I always had gifts, and that I always had a knowing of that this life was something more. But when I experienced these challenges, it was just so overwhelming that it really knocked me off my feet. So that's kind of how life was prior. Yeah.
Holy cow. Yeah, I mean, just the fact of losing your loved one. I mean, I can attest to how that can rock your world. Makes you question who you are, what you're doing, why am I here? And then when you start that whole grief process, oh my gosh, it almost makes you feel like you're just climbing out of this hole that's just never ending.
Yes, that's
Wow.
exactly how I felt. And I just felt lost. I felt like I had no direction to turn to. My parents have been married over 50 years, and they have not lost each other. So no one really knew how to relate to me. I was on Facebook looking for groups to kind of support me and my needs and different things like that. And although I was members of lots of different support communities, I was very spiritual. So I had my church family too.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing was resonating that was pulling me out of the intense emotions that I was going through. I mean, and they ranged from any given day. I mean, obviously there is sadness and the fear that I mentioned, but there was love and memories that would flood in. So I just didn't know what to do with all these emotions that were kind of overtaking my life, and not allowing me to figure out me anymore. I was just a bunch of emotions.
Right? Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
And you had mentioned to me too, there was some things happening that made you feel like you didn't fit in anymore to that, whatever that norm life that you were accustomed to. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Growing up, I never felt like I quite belonged. I always kind of knew that I was a little bit different. I kind of heard voices when I was younger, and then because they didn't fit the model in terms of what I was raised as, I kind of shut them out. And I would go through periods where I'd experience kind of really intense experiences, losing a job, divorce, different things that I encountered that would kind of reawaken my soul to kind of those feelings and those thoughts and those knowings. But I never really felt like I let myself go in order to try and experience my full soul awakening. And it wasn't until that, I lost my husband and my family dynamic changed and I had the near-death experience that, it wasn't a choice anymore. It was, yep, hello, here we are. This is what we're doing. But what I really noticed is that I knew from the get-go, I wasn't going to be able to do this alone. So thankfully I had a friend who introduced me to Stacie, and just after watching some of the videos on the Understanding Divine Messages group and just kind of seeing Stacie's softness and approach to kind of guiding it, I was like, that's me. I need this. I need some kind of guidance because I can't do this by myself. And I've tried, I've had other experiences that were life-changing and life-altering, and I never got awoke. I never woke up to myself completely. And I just got busy. I got busy in life. I let the busyness determine that I was successful. I was working on a PhD. I was successful in my career. And even though I would have these very profound kind of experiences, I wouldn't let them get into my DNA level. And so when, I met Stacie and we did our discovery call, it was just, this is it. This is the time. There's going to be no other better time. And I'm now on that path and I feel amazing.
Oh my gosh. So you just completed week 4. And so you've gone through a lot of healing, which the beginning of the program is all about healing and starting to really understand who you are, why you're going through things. What's been that biggest aha, like, oh my gosh, now my life has changed already? What does that look like now?
What does it not look like? So the funny thing, I have learned several lessons along the way, not, just through the whole process of healing, but through the program, the videos and the testimonials and the circle time. The support from the group is amazing. So it's just a real intense look at having a collaborative effort and co-creation in your life. So I've learned that right now, especially in our national and foreign climates, there's lots of movements to be a part of. There's political movements, there's social causes, but through this program, I've really learned that I've empowered me to be the cause, to be the movement that I want to be the testimony about. So, I was very spiritual before, so I believe that we're here to have a great witness and to share our witness. And if we're not empowering ourselves, if we're not the main cause, if we are not choosing ourselves to be the forefront of our daily cause, how can we do these other causes from a political nature or a social cause? And I just feel like that awakened inside me. And in my church, we talk about being spiritual consumers, and I was a spiritual consumer. And now I feel like with aligning my gifts and awakening my mediumship, awakening my healing abilities, I'm able to not just be a spiritual consumer in a conventional sense. I'm actually a spiritual contributor. And I think with Stacie's help, you get involved in that. You actually realize that all of this is, designed for your own good. So I've had several life changes that have happened since those events and since starting the program. And I've been able to quickly reframe some of these negative things, and some of the things that are positive, I've been able to just really let them shine through. And so it's just been an amazing journey thus far, and it's just healing. I'm excited about the remaining of the program.
Me too. It's like Christmas.
And I've just had so much experience thus far that I can only imagine what the back half will have. I do feel when, if, at times, we get busy in life and you slip into your old ways. I do feel like if I haven't watched a video or if I haven't connected to the group, I do feel that slipping back into that sense of loss. But really the program has restructured my whole way of approaching my day. I start my day differently. I end my day differently. And then I'm very mindful about what my intentions are for the day, the week, and for the future. So this program is just very awakening and helpful. And I mean, nothing lets you not do the work. You have to do the work.
Right. We're 100% responsible, right? Yeah.
Right. So I'm not going to say like Stacie's doing my work for me, but she is giving me the tools and the guides and the resource and the support that I need to, because this journey can be very isolating. My friends have changed, my environments have changed, but this provides you a really safe space to kind of practice, to ask questions. And no question is crazy. I've asked Stacie questions at 2 a.m. in the morning and I'll get a response later. But it was never met with judgment. And that's what I love. It's just always comes from a space of love. And it's like, well, let's explore that thought and feeling. And I get to a whole new space in my healing and in my journey. Yeah.
I love that. Julie, you are going to make a profound impact on so many people in this lifetime. You have gone through the things that you have gone through so that you can light someone else's light, and you really diving in deep to understand who you are and what your God-given gifts are and what your soul purpose is. That is going to spark you to be able to do your job, to do what your soul came here to do, even sooner, even faster. Like you had said, like if you wouldn't have enrolled in the program, you might have found out and figured out all of this stuff, but it could have been 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, who knows? Like we could become that doer and just be like, oh, I'm just going to do, and not figure out who you are, right? Because we put that thing off, we avoid it.
And I'm a very good doer. Like in 3D world, you give me a task, you give me an assignment, I'm going to run with it, and I've got it planned and mapped out. But what I've learned on this journey is that some things are not meant to be that way. And you're right. One of the huge things that I'm a proponent of is I know I'm creating this journey, and I could have gotten there with other support groups, but this group really just heightens your ability for understanding and acceptance. So I'm so glad that although I've had a very tragic year in 2018, I'm also ending it on a high note by going through this program. I told Stacie I could have started this program afterwards. That probably would have been better. I probably would have been more in tune. I probably would have, been able to dedicate more time. But I think we all say that every day. You say, oh, I'll do that tomorrow because I have more time, or, I need to make this a priority. But making you a priority really changes everything around you, and the chaos around you starts to order itself around you, and you're able to work through that. So I'm really happy that through this program, I'm getting to that understanding and that level quicker than I would have if I would have tried to do it alone. And I'm stubborn. I think I can do everything by myself. I've been there, but it really is helpful to have a mentor. It really is helpful to have support. It really is helpful to have someone say, run things by people, and they say, what can I do to support you? Or how can, oh, I'm sending you love. I can't tell you how many people that I've run my situation by, and they've sent me healing, or they've sent me just love and light. And that's maybe all I needed to kind of get me out of the funk I was in. But I think there's a lot of mediums and spiritual connectors and people who try to control what that looks like for you. And Stacie supports it. You design it. She's just co-creating it with you. And that's a huge thing, because in the end, it's all about your knowing and what you discover. And I'm glad that she puts me in the driver's seat, because I feel good about it at the end of the day, versus someone who's trying to, I did this for you, I did that for you. You know, you're paying for me to give you this experience. Well, it's less meaningful. We all know that when we do something amazing, that if we had an act in it, it's more meaningful. Well, this is our life, so you should take an active role in it.
That's right. Oh my gosh. You are such an amazing wordsmith. I know you've got a book in you. Oh my gosh. I could not have put it any better than you did. Oh, wow. That is beautiful. Well said, Julie. Oh, I've got goosebumps. I'm like, oh, yep, the angels are around.
Yes.
So I guess in closing, Julie, for someone watching live or someone that's going to catch the replay and they're like, I'm interested in this program. It sounds like something I'd like to do. What would you tell them to book that discovery call? Like what could help them get off the fence and take action now?
Honestly, I think there's no reason you shouldn't have already called. I know that there's lots of barriers that come up. It's time, it's money, it's family, it's people who don't understand. So I know there's lots of reasons why not, but I can give you, and anyone through the program, once you go through, can give you infinite reasons why too, because the gifts, once you start going through them, they keep manifesting more gifts and more gifts and more gifts. Like to begin with, I never saw, I used to get frustrated. I would email Stacie and I would tell her, I can't see forms. I don't, like, how do you see spirit? Because I don't see spirit that way. I see spirit like this, and it's kind of just in my third eye. And, but last week or the week before, I actually saw forms. And so I was starting to, realize that when these things happen, they're happening when they need to happen. And I mean, I can't rush it. I can only, do the work. But what I would say for the person who's just watching is that this, for the most part, this is an investment in you. And Stacie, even on the discovery call, said or told me that, you would invest in other things if, depending on what you like, a bag, a car, or those things. But the greatest investment you can ever make is in yourself. And like I said, I'm working on a PhD. And I think that at times this is a more valuable program, a more valuable investment, because it's not a book education. It's a education on yourself, or how to self-explore yourself, how to expand your gifts, how to find your purpose. And it also reorient, like there's many times we're going to get lost along the way. And I feel like this allows you the ability to kind of have a compass, to develop your own compass and kind of, okay, how do I get myself back on track? This is what I know I should be doing, or how I should be doing it. And when I deviate from that, I feel this. So I feel like this experience in and of itself has given me a roadmap to kind of get myself back to myself when I lose myself, which is worth its weight in gold in terms of money or terms of time, because there's always going to be the next thing. I am a true testament that I lost my husband, and then I had a near-death experience, but then I still encountered issues in my work environment. I still encountered issues in my family dynamic. And those changes will always change. That's the one thing we can count on. Change changes. Exactly. So I would think that the best thing is to invest in the change in yourself, because that, at least then you can order that kind of, those events around that. The one thing that stays constant is yourself, but the more we know ourselves, the greater we can do. Right. And the greater we feel about our empowerment of ourselves and knowing what our journey is here to do. So when encountering those situations, you won't look at them as this is happening to me. You're like, this maybe is to get me realigned with where I was supposed to be all along. And through this program, I've able to look at situations and go, okay, this is not how I would envision it, but I wasn't specific in prayer to God. So
Right.
this is how he gave it to me.
All right.
And here we go. We're going to rock through it. So,
Yeah.
You know, we still have humanly experiences, obviously, because we're human beings having a soul experience. Yeah. But I think the closer I am to my soul, the more comfortable I am in those experiences.
Absolutely. That was so well said. And you know, you mentioned how life is constantly changing and how we think, oh, there might be a better time to enroll. There might be a better time. The time is now, especially if you've gotten that soul prompting to make the discovery call and to be on the discovery call. It's like, how terrible that is that God opened this door for you to be able to learn about yourself and then to deny and not do it or put it off. And then, you know, when we put it off, it's rare that someone will ever come back and do it. I always say, if you hang up this phone, you're probably not going to call back, which is so sad. So the time is now. And then I also got a vision while you were talking about how everything is changing. It's like our life is an ocean wave. And when we invest in ourselves and we learn who we are on a soul level, we can ride the wave rather than being crashed over and over in the wave.
Yes. Yes. And I think that is an amazing metaphor for what I was just saying, because I feel like for a while there, I was getting absorbed in the crashes of the waves. And I had every excuse under the book to not sign up because my life had just been totally disrupted. My kids' lives have been totally disrupted. But it's funny, when your foundation is kind of brought to the very bottom, you can build it up to whatever you want it to be. And so I feel like if you're at that space where you feel like, I cannot do it because of everything is crashing around you, that is the best possible space to be in, because you have nowhere to go but up. And this program definitely does that. And I guarantee you will find the support and the love that you're looking for to support you while you love yourself. And like I said, I know there's you could go buy a self-help book and find how to love yourself, but this is so much more. It's on a DNA level. It's such on a micro level that it never goes away. That feeling of self-love, that feeling of purpose, the connection to the divine, it just magnifies. Even when you're lost, you don't feel as lost as you were. And I just keep thinking to myself, like you said, I could have started this a year from now, and I would be really sad because I don't think I would be as far along as I am today. Like, so many life instances happen that I just really don't think that I would have made it. But this provided me some structure. This provided me some guidance. This provided me love. This provided me healing. And you get it all wrapped up into one program. You don't have to go and buy 50 self-help books. You don't have to go and have 3 different counselors for 3 different things. Although I do suggest that, hey, counseling is a good thing.
But good. You gotta be able to talk it out.
Exactly. But this is just another avenue to kind of explore and reach your highest good, your maximum potential. And I don't think I could have done it alone. And I am a high achiever. I've been raised in that environment that you achieve high. But for me to admit that I needed something more was very difficult to do in the beginning. But at going through this program, I just realized that made me have a collaborative effort in my healing. And it provided that strength in numbers. It provided so much more than I was able to do by myself. And even now, when I have a down day, I get some reach outs from people in the group, or we have our circle time, and it just reinvigorates that knowing that, and it's another message from, that I'm in the right place, that Spirit sent me that at the right time, and I needed that, and I can make those connections myself.
That is beautiful. And that's the thing too, is not only do we need healing on a physical level, a mental level, spiritual level, but also on an emotional level. And it's a package deal. And if we're only taking care of one aspect of that in our life, we're missing the boat on the whole self, when we need that whole self. And what a better way when we're struggling in life and things couldn't seem to be more, worse, to be able to say, nope, I'm going to make this commitment to myself, because then you're investing in yourself to be the best you possible, so that you can make the good decisions, so that you can see from a different perspective. Because sometimes when we're in the midst of the yuck, we can't see the light for the dark. Like, it's just all yuck. And until we can get healing and come together, it just puts you on a better place and space in time to do that. So, yay.
Yeah, it's definitely changed what I allow in my vibration, like what I allow in my energy field. And that's a huge thing. So much in my life has changed. So I will guarantee you this. It may not be what you thought it would look like several months down the road, but you will get change. I mean, some of my friends are not the same, and that's okay, because they're in a space doing what they need to do. But for my journey, I needed some of those things to change. And although some would consider those things losses, those things have just aided me in reshaping a better me. So, and what I allow to impact me, what I allow to come to my vibration and allow me to facilitate my higher purpose. So it's been a wonderful experience, and I'm looking forward to the remainder of the program. I have some studying today to do, and I have circle time. So I know this is going to be a wonderful day today.
Oh, it is. It is. Thank you for being my special guest today. I'm so excited that you got to share some of your story. And someone had asked, like, what is the program? And I'll give you a little tip. It is a program that I founded. It is a 9-week program that's called the New You program. And the reason it's called the New You program is because many things, we get to this point in life where we're 45, 50, 55, and we have delegated our entire life to serving others and being the mom, or being the amazing career woman, or being the superwoman for all these people. And we forgot about ourselves. And it is time to learn who we are. We should have taken this like our senior year in high school, but maybe we didn't even know who we were then either, and we've morphed over all these years. And so now it's about finding out who we really are, finding out the gifts that God has given us. How do we use them? How do we understand them? How do we navigate it so they're not on full force? How do we turn them down? How do we turn them up? And really understanding how to manage these gifts and getting to a point where we can start healing the things that have been holding us back all these years, that little red wagon we've been towing behind us, that we didn't want to look at, but we need healing for, so that it opens us up to be able to receive more from Source, and able to give more and be the person you came here to be. And by the end of the program, with getting you aligned with your soul purpose, what your soul came here to do. So if that sounds like something that I've said, something that Julie has said, has hit that hot button for you, and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to look into this, reach out to me after this video. You can send me a private message, say, hey, I'm ready for my discovery call. Tell me you watched this video. Tell me what resonated for you. And I will get back to you. I'm setting up call times next week. I would love to talk with you. This is a transformational program. Every single person that's gone through this program, their lives have been touched profoundly. And I can't even, I get goosebumps and I want to cry just saying how amazing Source has worked through this program to help so many of these people. And if you want to see more testimonials, you can go in the little search bar and type hashtag testimonial, and some other testimonials will come up and you can watch some other people. Maybe you'll resonate with their story. So that's a little about that. And Julie, again, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. No,
Yeah.
thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity. I'm so glad I chose me, and I'm so glad that you chose me too. This is an amazing experience.
I'm so glad. So I hope that you'll come back after you graduate and share even more.
Absolutely. Definitely.
Perfect. Oh, perfect. All right. Well, until next time, angel blessings to all of you. And we will see you tonight, Julie.
All right. Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.